Hey guys, this week's episode is brought to you by a media survey. In order to support our show, we'll need the help of some great advertisers. And in order to find great advertisers, we'll need to learn a little bit more about you. That's right, each one of y'all, not about your whole ways or nothing like that, but more about you. So please go to podsurvey.com/Whoreible and take a quick anonymous survey that will help us get to know you a little better. That way, we can show advertisers just how great our listeners are. Plus, once you've completed the survey, you can choose to enter for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. And we know y'all like free shit, bitch. So terms and conditions do apply. But again, that's podsurvey.com/Whoreible. That's WHOREIBLE. Today's episode is also brought to you by Adam and Eve. What is better than the free 99? How about free 99 that will ignite your Valentine's Day? That's what. Check this out. When you go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item, you'll get 50% off. And I know y'all are like, but you just said free, but here's where it comes in. After you get your 50% off almost any one item, Adam and Eve will also give you 10 additional free items. So first, for your viewing pleasure, you will get 6 free movies. Next, you'll get a free mystery pack that includes an item for him or for her, but something that both of you guys will enjoy, plus free shipping. Now, that's a whole lot of free Valentine's Day stuff. So go on over to adamandeve.com and be sure to use offer code WD50. Again, that's WD, number 5, number 0, because without it, there's no free Valentine's Day stuff. So that's WD50 at adamandeve.com. Now, let's get on with the show.
It's our 100th episode, and before we bring our hot, sexy fucking guest in here, I really want to say thank you. I'm really happy that we did this episode. We were sitting in the same place at therapy episode.
Yeah, no,
I'm so happy, that we've made up, break up, and got back together, and I'm just so happy that this podcast is where it is.
I'm so happy that you guys have joined us on our journeys of hoism and everything the fuck else over the past almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sticking it out with us. Thank you guys for supporting us, not only with showing up to our live shows, but tuning in every fucking week. And again, also supporting us for those of you who are patrons.
When we started this podcast, do you remember the episode, I don't live there anymore, but when I accidentally said where I live, and you're like, why would you do that?
I said, why? And you're like, bro,
nobody's
only like 80 people listen to us. And I'm like, bitch, one day.
Get bigger.
And so it was crazy.
We've been on HBO, my nigga. We've been on Vice. Niggas know who the fuck we is. You know what I'm saying?
Say that shit.
I just want to say I was standing for life. Somebody that I would live, die, and breathe for if they were ever on this podcast is Jesus. I never thought for a second I could walk up to someone as a fan and they'd be like, oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I love you, new word.
Well, and even in the last year, joining Loudspeaker, we're now a part of a family where some of the top podcasts live. So that's been amazing.
Right. You guys, who's been someone you've met or run into that knew who you were and you were like, oh shit?
So I've been known blue check marks.
I'm talking
that's
about
kind
some
of
horrible
my thing.
decisions.
So, you know what? Honestly, I will say it hasn't even been someone that I've met famous and knew who I was, but just the people around me who are around bigger people. So I'm really good.
They give you.
I'm really good friends with Wayne. Shout out Wayne. He has a podcast now with Kevin Hart, Spank. And so I was just with him this past weekend, and he's trying to get us to get brands if they pass on Kev, maybe. I'm like, if they pass on Kevin Hart, you're thinking of me. He's like, and his thing was, he's like, do you know comedians can't even sell out places that house 200 people? And you guys are going on a tour doing that.
Do you remember our first live show? I wanted to charge $8.
You wanted to charge $8 for our first. And I'm like, no, bitch. There's a thing called the profit margin where we have to make. And, I made it all accounting. I just thought
nobody would go.
Yeah.
One of the craziest things for me was, I don't want to say it like we got New York on lock, but we live here and most of our listeners are here, right? According to analytics. We do this DC show. And we're looking up venues, and I'm like, what do you think, Mandy? 220? And she's like, yeah, that sounds good. We put these tickets up with no flyer. We didn't drop the podcast a day. And
4 days.
4 days.
We sold out. So
it's
that was amazing.
Bro, I've seen artists that I listen to weekly that haven't had 225 people in the fucking venue.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all. If we ain't got the LA venue yet, it's because Weezy found this rank-a-dank that seats 120. And I'm like, bitch, we could do more than 120 in LA. So I'm looking for a bigger venue in LA if we haven't dropped the venue yet. Because I'm like, no, bro, we can do it. Let's do it. It's been exciting. It's been exciting.
I never thought I'd go to Mexico and niggas would come up. That was the craziest thing about...
Bitch, I went to Kansas City. I didn't even know it wasn't in Kansas. And bitch, people fucking knew, like, Whoreible Decisions and Mandy.
Y'all
like,
got internet here? The hell is Kansas?
Kansas City, bitch. It's in Missouri, ho. I didn't even know. I said, bitch, this is a 3-hour
Oh, bitch, I'm gonna tell you when I knew we was lit.
What?
When my mother, I'm a stand in 90 Day Fiance. And I fucking wrote Ashley from 90 Day Fiance, who's the white girl that fucks the Jamaican nigga. And she was like, oh yeah, like, unfortunately, we're tied to contracts. We can't come on. But like, totally no. Follows our page. And I was just like, oh, get the fuck out of here. TLC, bitch.
Gabby Sidori follows us.
That's
Is that how you say her last name? And I was like, Precious, bitch, what's up?
Bro, I want her to come
like
on,
that,
but we might not be on brand because we're sluts. So here's what I want to do just to start this episode off. I want to go back and forth with 100 dirty words. Titties, ass, cum.
We're not going to make it to 100, y'all, so
we
don't
are
worry.
going to try our hardest and...
Let's go.
Boobs.
Sluts.
Fuck.
Feminist.
Cum.
Pussy.
Shit.
Anal.
Lint liquor. I thought about the Orbit Gum
Condom.
commercial.
Condom.
Latex.
Pegging.
Whore.
Dildo.
Bitch.
Anal plug.
Anal beads.
Shit. Cock ring.
Ball gag.
Ponytail.
What?
Bitch, because when I suck dick, I put my hair in a ponytail. Go ahead.
Okay, word association. Choking.
Slapping.
Felching.
You're disgusting. Eggs.
Asphyxiation.
Plan B.
Dirty.
Birth control.
Naughty.
Damn, bitch. I
was gonna say abortion.
Okay, anyways, y'all get the motherfucking
Somebody
point.
count that and tell us how much it was.
Hey.
And,
but
yeah.
we really hope that you guys enjoy our 100th episode.
Bye.
Yo. Can you believe we made it to 100 episodes, and this is like a big deal, I think, in podcasting.
Yo, together we've all probably fucked 100 people.
I think that's
that's very accurate. I actually just started doing my numbers like, yep. That
Yo, I
sounds
have
about
my
right.
list. Do you?
I feel like you and I have probably fucked 100 between the two of us.
Yeah.
So we adding a whole nigga who do porn. What?
I'm trying to tell you the number, bitch.
Oh, well, bitch, that's just the number of athletes. No, let me stop. Anyways, guys, welcome to the 100th episode of Whoreible Decisions. This is your girl, Mandy B.
And I'm Weezy. Hi, I love you 100 times over. How about that?
Nah, I'm super excited. I'm glad that we finally made it here. It was only right to have one of the motherfuckers that made the most sense to come on for episode motherfucking 100.
Not even the most sense, bitch, but the episode, like, we've done mad solo episodes.
We have.
I was in Japan when you came on. I was tight, bro.
Yeah, so.
First of all, I'm listening to the episode, and I'm like, I can't get internet, right? So I download the episode on the plane. 16 fucking hours, I didn't know what you looked like. And I was like, just pretending with myself, like, he ugly.
No, so guys, if you haven't already looked at the title, which you probably should have, we have King Noir, who is in the building with us today. And so he came on, maybe episode 26. Like, he came on mad long ago, maybe less than, maybe more
it
than
was
that.
a minute.
It was
I
a
remember
minute
you
ago.
especially, like, we weren't even doing video then, and you were like, oh, I have to get video for him. And I'm like, bitch,
Yeah,
what?
I know. I got video specifically for him just to show the vlogging. I know, because I was like, oh, this got to be on video, bitch. But so for the 100th episode, I guess, before we get started in our icebreaker, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and new listeners who may not know who you are?
All right. What's going on? My name is King Noir of Royal Fetish Films, Jet Setting Jasmine LLC, a master fetish trainer, erotic touch masseur, and I do porn and stuff.
And a deep
Jet
voice. You
Setting
need
Jasmine, come on, drop the wifey
You
on
know,
that.
there
LL.
you go. There you
I mean,
go.
that's actually how we started. We started with her company, Jet Setting Jasmine, and Jazz.
Are you married?
We are not married,
Okay.
but that's my
big.
partner in all things.
Yeah.
You
I know
know?
that's right, because I'm going to tell you, we've had some episodes we learned marriage don't mean a fucking thing.
Don't
That's
get
factual.
started.
I wasn't being shady.
Okay, I thought you was being shady because you be shady as hell, bitch. I know you would.
No, I really enjoy watching, like, your pictures together. I really love it. For those of you who don't know King Noir and Jet Setting Jasmine, I've never had the pleasure of meeting either of you, but you guys just had a baby, and, like, you're just so body positive, and, like, it just seems like you love her so much, and it's so great to watch a woman be so comfortable.
And you guys are poly, which is what we discussed in the last
I'm poly,
article.
and Jazz now describes herself as a sexual opportunist.
Oh!
That's some next shit.
I like that. She inventing her own titles.
Really like the word poly at all. Like, I don't like what polyamory kind of means because I've heard it's like, from what my friends tell me and poly friends,
Actually,
opening yourself for love with other people.
I don't like that.
And that I'm not really vibing with. Like,
now that I think about it, I don't like the word poly either because it ruins my childhood. I'm thinking of Polly Pocket. And we probably shouldn't be thinking of Polly Pocket.
I think with polyamory now, it's kind of gotten a little bit of the connotation like swinging has. You know, like
That's what I'm into.
Swinging at a certain point, though, people start to have like this idea of what it is when actually it can be whatever it means to you. Like whatever your relationship is as a couple
Sure.
and y'all are swingers might not be the same as two other people who are also swingers. They might be like, well, we do soft swap, same room.
Right.
Somebody else might be like, man, we go out on full dates with
and
somebody
soft
else.
swap
You know what I
is
mean?
just, right, another woman coming in, am I correct?
Well, soft swap, I think, is more like they don't do full penetration
Okay.
or whatever. It might just be like kissing and touching and things like that.
I would describe myself more like an ethical non-monogamist. Like, I like being able to go on dates with other people and blah, 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 but I don't know if I'm as open to full-blown relationships, which is what I believe poly can be. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and I'm into just swinging. Like, with my partner, I don't want him dating anyone else. I don't want him having feelings with anyone else. Don't even take the bitch out to eat. Like,
You
she can
fuck
go
and you
home.
leave.
Just fucking leave her. Like, that's the type
I
of
like
relationship I would be into.
what Glamazon Tayomi said.
Oh, now you like something she said?
Bitch, now you shady.
I'm just saying.
So she was saying, or
That's
either
the
her
homie
husband
right there.
said on another
Yes.
podcast, like, maybe she wants to go see like a concert, and like I'm not into.
No,
that
I
dude.
told you he said that.
Oh, that was you.
That was him. So I started the episode out talking about B2K, and you were like, I'm not really
Wow,
into
look
them
at
niggas.
that. I didn't even realize that was
Yeah,
you.
it was him that said that. And he was like, listen, like, I don't really like B2K, but I'm not going to keep you from enjoying that moment with someone who may be able to
Fucking
enjoy it with you.
interesting. So what's up? Like, you not going with Jasmine?
What, to B2K?
To the B-
Yeah.
What if she want to go to the B2K
If she want
concert?
to go, I'm sure there are a whole lot of people that'll take her out there to see that.
Where y'all live at?
We in Tampa.
So there's no Florida show to Atlanta. So she going with another nigga. Shit.
Yeah,
They
he
gonna
might
be in there
live.
like
she
you
gonna
said.
have a good time too, because she know if she took me, I'd be like, man, fuck.
I don't want to see this shit. You know what? Icebox. Where's
There's not okay. If you had to see any
Because
artist
I'm
on
sure
that tour,
I'm sure
there's
she
not
would
one.
let me roll to like, go see some shit of the same age that was what I'm into. Like if I'm
Like
like,
what?
yo, I'm trying to go see Rain and Ghost right now, and she's
Well,
like,
how old are you?
I'm not trying to go see it. I don't even know who that is.
Cause you looking
Wu-Tang.
You looking young.
Oh,
to
is
me.
that
That's like
Wu-Tang? Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go and see them in live. Wait.
Well, there you go.
Wait, was Method Man in that?
yeah, but if it's just Rain
Okay,
and
so
Ghost,
I just want to go and see
She like,
Method
I'm
Man.
just trying to go backstage
I'll go
see
and,
Method Man.
I'll go and look at Method. What?
I'm only laughing because
I think Jasmine would go though if Method Man was there.
That's
too,
all I want to
so,
go. Only if
you know what I
Method's
mean?
Man there. If he's not there, I don't want to
You tryna
go.
fuck?
I mean, I would like. It would be something to look at.
Hold on, wait. You skipped the question. How old are you?
I just turned 38.
Oh, that's
Nigga, that
grown,
sounded
man.
No, I was about to say 37. It was literally just my birthday 3 days
It
ago.
was. It was.
You
Happy
just had a
belated.
baby. You had a
Yeah,
birthday. Good things happen in threes.
Did you have birthday
Absolutely.
sex?
I did, but it was like the whole week. I don't know if we just.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say it was like somebody else.
Nah, we actually just came back from a resort in Mexico that we
humble
might be
flex.
doing some work for. We was down at Desire,
What city is
Okay.
it?
flogging people and all. It's in Cancun.
Nice.
So I was in Mexico for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And someone was like, "Oh, are you gonna go to the resort?" Because I was telling them I had a sex podcast, and I was like, "Which one?" And they're like, "Neither mind." Like, why is no one telling me? I
Right.
had no idea. So people go to the resort, and are you just like a part of that resort and like?
Well, we were actually there doing fetish trainings for couples, teaching
Dope.
people about impact play. What else did we do? I mean, minded our own business for a little while.
That's nice.
We had a
No,
good
that's
time
right.
there. I mean, it was beautiful out there. It was
Well,
really beautiful.
speaking of like a resort and all of this fun stuff, our icebreaker, real quick, I thought this would be cool for us to do. I wanted to do different names for orgasms. So I thought of this in different ways that you could say come. So I wanted to maybe go around the table and see if we can make it around and how many times around we can go before someone doesn't know a name for an orgasm.
Yeah, but bitch, have you looked them up?
No, bitch, I ain't look. I swear I ain't look it up.
got
I
a
believe
list
you.
on her phone.
I swear I didn't look it up. And the only
Turn the
reason.
phone upside down.
No, the only reason why I came up with this game, and I'll tell you, is because on this B2K tour, Yin Yang Twins are gonna be there, and one of their songs is like, "Oh, skeet skeet," and I'm like, why was I saying that at 11? Skeet skeet is.
Why you
so
said
that's
one of
gonna
their
be-
songs, bitch? The song,
The
my nigga.
song, all key.
Name another
So
Yin
that's
Yang
gonna
Twin
be
song right
that's
now.
gonna be my first word for come is skeet, and then we'll go around and see how many words for orgasm we can come up with. So Skeet is the first one.
Climax.
You took mine. Jizz.
Fuck, already?
Your turn.
See, your turn.
Come.
Spunk.
You gotta go. I'm out.
Splash.
Splash, nigga. You lost. That ain't no goddamn.
Penetrating my ass.
What other word is there for come or orgasm? Are there any that we
Squirt.
left? Squirting. Okay.
I was gonna say nut.
Ooh, nut.
That's
Damn.
a nigga word.
I really missed that
Bust.
one, huh? No, you're busting a nut.
No.
People be like, yo, I bust.
I'm busting.
I just bust.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
You just mad that you was out
I
after
did.
one.
Damn,
Came too quick.
That's not it. I've never heard climax either.
No, but technically busting, like, you bust a pussy. So busting is not nothing. Fuck y'all. You bust it open.
Bitch, you
Bust a
literally
nut.
said when you were fucking a dude, he was like,
Bust a
I'm
nut. I'm about to bust a nut.
Whatever, bro.
I'm
But
about
people
to,
will
ooh,
ask you,
maybe
be like,
did
yo,
say
when
what?
you was fucking, did you bust?
Yes. They do.
Ah, you got me.
Touche.
All right. Well, anyway, we finna go ahead and hop into the vanilla shit because I don't like y'all.
Yo,
no more.
100 episodes later, like, what's something that we still do? Because your ass is still ghetto as shit, but like.
I am not ghetto. Woo chile.
Okay, so we finna go ahead and get to the next one. It's that.
That is not what
You know
I
when
just
I knew you was a
sounded like.
fucking hood rat? When you said, what's that shit the Black Panthers were, a Baudet?
This what we doing? This what we doing? This what we gonna do for the 100th episode, bro?
When did you know I was
gonna
super
come
white?
for me?
You can't say when I fuck white boys. What is it? What was
Actually, what I'm gonna say about when I knew you were super white, you don't let me say on the podcast.
do not, bitch.
That's how I knew you were super white.
tell you later.
Because only white people do that shit. So we're gonna go ahead. I wanted to get into our vanilla shit. So for vanilla shit, it's where we come up or we find an article that has to do with sex, dating, relationships. And this one was interesting. This article is on Refinery 29, and it says that I can orgasm without my genitals being touched. Am I a freak? So it gets into basically how she experienced having an orgasm from just meeting a man and them kind of just touching, like hands-wise. And she says that she was able to experience an orgasm. And so she reached out to a doctor and felt like that there was something wrong with her because she busted a nut from just touching this man. So it says that there have been studies that show that orgasm can be reached without necessarily directly stimulating the genitals, says Jessica Shepard, MD, an OBGYN at the University of Illinois at Chicago. This is much more common. This is where I found it interesting. She said it's actually more common in women
In your
and
sleep?
not often in men. No.
Oh.
It's more often for women to reach orgasms without being touched genitally. Like
Genitalia?
genitally. Genitally. What the genitalia?
Bitch, what are you doing the 90 Day Fiance? Join a telly?
No, bitch.
So, yeah.
And I thought that it would be more so common for men because I feel like when they're younger, men just jizz in their pants a lot.
I think that's a
that a-
bullshit thing from movies that we all know, but I mean.
No, or wait, we got a man across from us. Were you just jizzing in your pants at 13?
Not like crazy, but it definitely happened before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, and
But I mean, there was stimulation. You know, I was what they call it down south. I was hunching or something. You know.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so,
Okay,
yeah,
you was
no.
hunching. You was dry humping.
Yeah, I've definitely had a few. I think I have one a month where I come in my sleep.
Really?
I
Oh, yeah, you
told you
talked
it
about
happened.
that.
I
In
think
Mexico,
women
in the
are a
fucking
lot
room with my
more
parents.
in tune with their bodies than men are. Because most men, it's not something that we're taught. It's not something that is ever presented to us. You know, like once you get your period,
Right.
your mom or older woman is going to have that talk with you about your body, how to care for your body, how to attend to your body in some shape,
What?
form, or
What?
fashion. Even if it's not sexual. Even if it's just like, this is how you care for
So
yourself.
you're saying that we're more aware of our
boys don't get
vaginas
that.
than men are boys are their penises, you're saying?
Men are only aware of their penises in a sense of kind of like, you use that to fuck.
Which is education. We just talked
Men
about
aren't really
this
taught
I
to
get that.
explore their bodies, even sexually. Like, we're told, like, you know, you're going to jerk off, or maybe somebody says, hey, if you jerk off and you last longer when you jerk off, you better when you fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
maybe you get that little talk, if anything. But for the most part, men aren't taught how to clean themselves. Men aren't taught
We
how
know
to...
that much. Y'all be musty as hell.
Men aren't taught how
People in general, people.
how to even connect the brain to their orgasm, which is why most men have never experienced a full body orgasm.
Do you think
before.
women are maybe a little bit better with orgasm because it's a lot harder for us to reach orgasms? So
depending on the woman.
Because to me, I mean, in general, women as a whole, like this is just right from census that has been taken from certain sites, like any findings I read, it's generally harder for women to achieve orgasm. And I wonder if it's because the women that are having them have had to learn how to give themselves one.
It's weird though because
like, are we really more in tune with our bodies?
It's so weird because I feel like it's so backwards for me. So when I preach that all women should learn how to make themselves come. So I say that
everybody,
yeah, of course. So I masturbate nightly. That's how I go to sleep. And when I masturbate, I come only through clitoral stimulation. Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to me dealing with men, me rubbing my clit does nothing. I can only come through penetration, which often people say that you're not supposed to be allowed to come through penetration. Well, it's all through clitoral. So it's weird. Like when I fuck 24/7, I come multiple times with his dick. There's no play with my clit.
Right,
but when I'm by myself, I'm not.
Clitoral orgasms because we find out that like
it goes all the way.
7 inches in.
It goes in there.
But
so
yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I think there's
I'm talking about my outside
some
clit
basic
thing.
like 75-25 like thing I've seen where 75% of the time women have clit stimulation. But
so I wanted to have.
I think physiologically though, there's the sense that as a woman, everything that you experience, well, not everything, but a lot of what you experience sexually is internal. Mm-hmm. So you have to experience things that are gonna go through your body. So you have to be in tune. Like, am I even willing to let this person be inside of me? Right.
Facts.
And then also for men, since it's external, we never really get to put that 1 and 2 together. Like your brains. Like I get dudes who hit me up nonstop in my DM. How do I last longer? Or I had my first bout with ED. How do I work with that?
That's erectile dysfunction. For those of you
so
that
and both of those things really just have to do with your mind. You know, I mean, obviously there's some things that'll just feel amazing, like goddamn. But usually that's like you let your mind go into that so much that you are unable to control yourself.
Listen, medicine can help you, but like you do need to work through this thing.
It is.
I was thinking one thing when you were talking about it. When it comes to like, you know, the orgasm, like clitorally, it could be there's like 5,000 or 7,000 nerve endings in our clit. Opposed to the inside.
Which is why I never wanted to even pierce it. Like,
me neither.
I would be so afraid to pierce my clit for that reason. But I wanted to talk. So, reading this article and something that Weezy even mentioned on
the hood.
Yeah, you mentioned it on our sex resolution episode that you wanted to experience a tantric massage. And so, is tantric massage, is that dealing with your genitals, or is it just the massage that makes you come? What is that?
Some does, some doesn't. I mean, it all depends on who's the practitioner of the massage.
Can you tell us what Tantra is? Or
yeah.
Tantric sex, I am not a tantric practitioner, so somebody will probably give you a way better definition of
sure,
me.
but like,
but I think it's really like, from what I understand, is people who are able to connect like the spiritual, the mind, and the body for a deeper sexual experience than just like, yo, I'm trying to.
And that's where I've heard that women have orgasms. Like Colette watched a couple, like him give her an orgasm just from like breath play and like breathing, and like she said it took a while, but she said she watched this girl come hard as fuck.
Well, I know personally, I've spoken to people and they've told me that I should go like deeper into it because I've had orgasms without busting a nut before.
You have had an orgasm without coming?
Yeah.
I've had men tell me that too.
How? How does that work?
Like how secretion, you mean?
How does a man know that happened?
No fluid. I mean, you feel it. Like I've felt orgasms that have gone through my body, different things like that, and it definitely has to do with things that when I've spoken to people who actual tantric practitioners, they say it has to do with your breathing, it has to do with, you know, your comfortability, your mind state, and all of that. So it's
why would you orgasm as a man but not ejaculate?
Because I want to keep coming.
Okay.
Have you ever had a dude like tell you they felt like they came when they were fucking you, but they didn't?
I've had guys that thought they were going to come so they would pull out so that they didn't come, and then they went back.
Edging, but maybe twice in my lifetime I've had someone say, fuck, like I felt like I came, I thought I came.
I mean, I did have a guy tell me that I gave him the best sex ever out of all the times we
Humble
had
flex.
sex. No.
I did have someone tell me that I was the best fucker.
Seriously. No, you didn't let me finish. Damn.
I got the text right here.
We had been fucking like for years, and so on one of the most recent times we had sex, he said, "Oh my God, that was like probably our best time having sex." I pinned it to my weight loss, but he's like, "No, like it just felt really good," and I'm like, "How?" He didn't come. He didn't come at all. Probably because I made him wear a condom the entire time and I wasn't fucking with that bullshit at all. And normally, like, you know, I'll suck his dick and I was just like not in the mood. But he told me it was the best session he had with me, and I was confused because he literally did not come.
Have you noticed something different from the times that it's happened to you with the sex that you were having? Like, was it a lot of foreplay? Like, was there anything different that you think happened in those moments that don't normally happen?
I know the first time that it ever happened to me, I was like, just checking, you know what I mean? I was like, because it feels almost the same, like the same way that your muscles contract and different things like that. But just, I think time-wise, it just has to do with more like how into it I am and just how I feel, and kind of like, if I feel like I'm about to come, I'm like, I don't want to right now.
Yeah, okay.
And just kind of like push through it, and then the body reacts how the body reacts, and then it just you kind of like keep feeling it.
So
it's like waves, like things I've heard from women talk about, like orgasms or like multiple
massage almost. Do you know anything about it?
A lingam massage is when a woman massages.
Right.
Yeah.
But like in the lingam massage, they say that men reach it almost 2 or 3 times. Like they keep peaking, and then finally they ejaculate.
So is this kind of like when a man has sex and he comes, and then after he comes, he's still hard? Because I've had that.
Nah, that just means you kind of skipped your refractory period. Like that can happen, but that has nothing. That's not the.
Yeah, it's different because that's good too.
It's
you
great.
know what I'm saying? But
I love when
it's
they
still
come
like,
still hard.
Experience multiple orgasms.
Yeah.
Men can't experience multiple orgasms because of the refractory period, which basically means your dick can't get back up once it ejaculates, right?
Well, I love that.
Bitch, look at me. I'm a goddamn doctor.
I don't know what you've been reading. Anyways, I want to get into
real quick, just to go back to what you were saying, like, for example, like some of the massages that I have done for like erotic touch, there are certain times, like I had one client, I was just kind of like massaging her forearm, and she was just like, I've never really been touched there before in my life. So when you start to, in a sensual way.
Right.
Yes.
So I think when it comes to massage in general, or tantric massage, erotic massage, sensual massage, whatever
Just
people are calling it, it's like, if you've never really had somebody pay attention to your body, if you've never had somebody touch you in a certain kind of way, and you are someone who is especially a woman who's in communication with her body and control of her body, you can definitely orgasm from
Have
that.
you ever had one?
Man, all I know is every time I go to a motherfucking massage place, even in Asia, all the little Asians, I wasn't even attracted to them. But bitch, my pussy was wet as fuck every time they massaged me. And it was just like a little Asian woman. I ain't want to fuck her, but bitch, I kind of was hoping she fingered me, but they never did. But I be getting horny as fuck just massaging.
The most erotic part of a massage I've ever had, it just made me think of that forearm thing. I don't even know if I've ever thought about this before, was my calves. And I remember him telling me, like, nobody ever touched me like that there.
Yeah.
Gee, they freaked me out.
The calves.
I was like, why am I getting excited? It's just my calves.
No, I love, like, the inside of my thighs.
I love when a dude rubs my ass and, like, his fingers are kind of close to my pussy. And I'm like, are they going in? Are they not
just
going
close.
in?
That's it. It turns me on just like that. Like, that's all I need. So I wanted to get into our kink of the week, and our kink of the week is going to focus on something that you are actually familiar with, something that people may not even know exists. So the kink of the week is fetish training. I kind of wanted to get into what fetish training is, and why people may come to you for it, what it entails. So can you explain to our listeners what fetish training is?
Well, fetish training is the act of engaging in your fetish. I think actually it was, first time I ever heard the term, it was like when Jazz was trying to say, how do we describe what it is we do for people? Okay. And a lot of people hire us because they don't know they have a fetish. But every single person here has a fetish.
Every person in the world has a fetish. In the world. Okay.
Like, even just y'all saying, like, I got turned on by a massage. A fetish is basically something that is not directly correlated to procreation that turns you on sexually.
Come on, my nigga, with them glasses.
Yo, shut up.
Looking like a professor with that sweater on.
Hell yeah. That was what I was going for tonight.
Can I ask you, this is a little off, but the last episode Mandy and I were doing, she was saying, here's the difference between a kink and a fetish, which I really think is subjective. Even though, I mean, she was reading textbook shit. Can you tell us what you think the difference between a kink and a fetish is?
Yes.
A person can be kinky. A person can't be a fetish. Like
Which
a lot of times, like you'll see people like, oh, you know, I have a fetish for this type of person, BBW, black man, Asian woman, or something like that. A human being can't be a fetish. A human being is a human being. A person can be kinky. Like I'm kinky as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's kind of like a fetish is like what it is. You know,
So
kind of like more like a definition.
So how it broke it
thing.
down, it basically said that a fetish is the whole meal, a kink is the salt and pepper. It's
There
the
you go.
seasoning to,
Yeah, that makes sense.
you know,
Right.
what you do in the bedroom. So,
like
what are some of I guess the fetishes or kinks that go on during fetish training? Like some of the main ones.
It ranges. I mean, people come to us because they're like, I want to expand my sexuality, or I know what I like, but I don't know how to engage in it in a safe way, or I don't know where to find people who like what I'm into. That's where we help.
What's the kinkiest thing that someone
I just wrote in my
has said
phone.
to you?
I was trying to be quiet. By the way, listeners gave this advice. They were like, damn, Weezy can't shut the fuck up. Type the questions in your phone. What did I just type?
She just said, what are the kinkiest? What are the kinkiest?
I wanted to ask, what are the kinkiest things you've heard, but what are also things where you're like, that ain't shit that people think is crazy?
I mean, I don't.
Like
I don't
spit in your
ever.
mouth.
I don't
Think
ever
that's
like to.
Crazy?
Oh man, I love spit. But
too.
I don't. But see, that's the thing. That's what makes everybody different, and where it's hard for me to say like that's some wild kinky shit or that's a boring kink, you know, because what might be like for you, like, yo, this is the edge for me. Like I'm trying it all right here. I'm putting it all on the table. For her, she might be like, that was 5 years ago.
But what is the edge for you? Like, what is like, holy shit, too much?
I think the one that I was first kind of like, what? Like, what is this? Is lunars. People who are
What is lunars?
into balloons.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what
I don't know if
do
we
with
spoke about it.
balloons?
Well, a whole lot of shit.
Damn, we didn't cover that in the porn
haven't
categories.
done that.
I used to watch Real Sex when I was a kid because that was the only thing I could like hunch the bed to. And I always saw the balloon
Lunars?
shit.
What's the balloon? So what do
So-
they do with balloons? Stick their dick in a balloon?
Some people like
Jerking off
to
on
watch.
them,
No,
cum
some
on it,
people
licking
like
it
to
off.
watch people be afraid by a balloon popping. Like that's what turns them on. Other people like to watch a woman just
imagining.
play with a balloon and not pop it.
I'm not
right?
kink shaping,
So the
but
first time someone ever hit us up like, can you do a royal fetish lunar video? I was thinking the moon. I was like, what are you talking about?
Facts.
I was like, they kind of woke. They seem like some under the stars, the moon
You
type
know,
niggas.
right? Wait.
So I was like, so then they were like, well, you know, they send over this thing because we do custom films for people.
Nice.
They send over this long like script. And then they send Jasmine like a box of different types of balloons. Like some of these balloons,
Colors,
it's like,
ridges, what?
yo, well, there's one joint, it's called a hippity hop. Like that shit got fucking handles on it, and it's like the size of this chair.
She bounces on it?
Yeah.
That's, okay, that
So,
I kind of
like-
get, like, cause titties
so, like-
now.
But then
Yeah.
titty, no, but
I'm
that
just trying to
kinda
make sense of
style.
everything, bitch.
yeah, but
And
their
then there's
kink is
somebody
coming
else.
from a balloon being present. Like they didn't send him
Is
a.
it the- I
they
think
didn't
I've
send her a
seen the
yoga
blowing.
ball.
Well, some of our fetishes we get from our childhood. Some of them could just happen like
Okay.
on your train ride over here. Something could happen. And you're just like, I wonder, and you might just delve deep into that. But some of the things, like you know, some people who are lunar, they might have had a experience as a kid where it was a party and a balloon popped,
And, like-
and they saw the girl, they like jumped to it or something. You know what I mean? Like it could. Some fetishes are like so intricate into our brains. That's why fetishes are just as infinite as the
Oh
human
my
mind.
God. I swear to God.
She got
right
a
now,
story about.
Nah.
I'm telling you, she
I've
always got
never
stories,
realized
bro.
why I like spit in my mouth.
Why do you
but
like
me and
spit?
this dude got in an argument when I was in high school and he spit on me and I liked it.
He spit on you, bitch. That
Bro,
is
do I need to go to
disrespect.
therapy?
You do. You absolutely need therapy.
I mean,
I
I'm
think she
in
just worked her
therapy.
way through it right there.
You
though.
know,
She-
I don't know.
I'm in
Fetish
therapy,
training
bitch,
saved
but
somebody
like,
You
else
enjoy the
today.
nigga spitting on you?
listen, we were fighting.
That nigga would die.
We were close, really face to face, because we were arguing about me and this other dude, and he spit on me, and I was like, "Yo, are we about to fuck?"
No way, bro. That's
Now?
like,
That's what it is.
That's hands, bro. I'll fight anybody who spit on me, bro.
Bro, obviously
but
we
in
was
the
fighting and shit.
bedroom, I might ask for it. But outside of the bedroom, you not spitting
we had
on me,
never
bro.
spoke again, right? But I remember being so angry about it. But in that moment, he was so close to my face, I didn't know if I liked it or not. Maybe that's why I like spitting and shit.
Maybe you need therapy.
Yo, thank you. It might be your glasses, but you just psychoanalyze
Yo,
me.
that's what I do.
So So what are if they contact you, it can be individuals or it can be couples. And so basically what you do is you kind of walk them through how to communicate about these, or are you actually showing them what it looks like?
Yeah, we also do events all over, kinky pop-up events. And we help people, basically if they're like, yo, this is what I'm into. Say it's spanking or flogging or something like that. You don't really just want to start hitting on somebody without knowing what you're doing. We spoke about that last time. So, I think...
so you brought up flogging. You have floggers with you, and we have a better video now, so I'm glad that you brought them.
Yeah, we're going to get that
If you
later.
want to, I guess, show the camera what floggers are, can you explain to our new listeners what flogging is?
So flogging is a form of impact play.
Nah, bro, that ain't that $10 shit I bought.
These are actually handmade. They're leather and all that. You can check them out.
Handmade. Wow. So like I have them, but they don't like. I guess that's why it don't hurt. This is like real.
Well, it's not all, these aren't gonna really hurt you like that. These are more.
I know
like
these ain't vegan.
They're more like a thud. So it's more like if you get spanked,
can
right?
we see? Can we see you spank?
I gotta
Weezy?
warm her up and all that.
You gotta warm her up. Why do you gotta warm her up? Because then is it gonna hurt?
So that it's gonna feel good for you.
Oh,
Wait,
otherwise
but
it'll
you
hurt.
have gloves on. That look like you about to go ride a bike.
Nah, I use these gloves actually like it's another thing for spanking, right? So like if someone spanks you and they use just their fingers, there's more of a sting to it. Someone spank you using the center of their hand, there's more of a cup to it. Back of
That's
the
why
hand,
we like
that's
the
a little
bottom?
more hit. Yeah. So if you're more of a person who likes the thud, you would enjoy these.
So I know Mandy's trying to surprise me right now with the whole flogging thing. Can I just learn how to spank? Can we learn? Can you teach me how to spank on Mandy?
Wait.
We can do that too.
Mandy has a good spanking butt. I have less ass.
I don't like how you turn this shit on me.
Oh, nah, my nigga, because when I came in the studio, she was like, oh, yeah, you're going to get flogged today. And even though I'm totally into it, what I really want to say is she's been
You
flexing.
just want to hit me. You want to hit me on camera.
Everybody tells me, my ass is just so jiggly
It
now.
is jiggly, bitch.
Okay, let's just figure it out.
Okay, so wait.
Wait. Let's talk about it first.
Okay,
okay. So the hand. Sorry, by the way, Kristen, we're running late. But the hand,
you
right?
gotta take these goddamn rings off because
From the bottom,
You definitely got to take those rings off.
I'll take my rings off.
So fellas, if you have rings on your hand, because my daddy Jamaican, he used to wear golds on all goddamn every finger. So if you're fucking, you would suggest to take jewelry off the hand.
For sure.
Okay, so slap with your right hand if you married, fellas.
You know what's so great? This is I was gonna make a joke because this is our 100th episode that we didn't fight. I get to hit you during the 100th
This is some bullshit.
Okay.
So check it out.
Mandy stands up.
When
hold on,
you're
stand up.
talking
Hold on,
about impact play, before we even get to any of the spanking, when you get to impact play, it's very important because you can hurt somebody, right? So the reason I talk about warming somebody up with things like floggers is you want to get all those important dopamine and all the chemicals from the brain that relaxes the body. You start really lightly.
Maybe kissing and
spank
licking.
up. Yeah, I mean you could do that too.
We're not kissing or licking. We could give each other a hug.
I'm gonna go really lightly.
Okay.
But for example, if I was flogging, I would start at your shoulders.
But we practicing spanking me.
But we spanking and we flogging.
I want to
No,
spank
she's
Mandy. I
gonna
want you to
spank.
teach me how to spank before you with the
All right.
flogging. So, okay.
Okay, I'm standing
So
up.
I would take my hand. I'm gonna use the bottom. Let's maybe see you do the good spank first.
What? Bro, you really? Okay, so hold on, because I want to make sure that you tell the listeners. So what's the correct way to spank?
So King Noir just stood up. Mandy's bent over YouTube.
Everybody. So women, if you're spanking your man, men, if you're spanking your woman.
Right.
Everybody has the same vibe that you're gonna get in here from the lady taint.
Like we're horny?
Taint. You know what I'm saying? No, it's all in the pedestal nerve.
Pedestal nerve. Nigga, that's a big
This
word.
is some school shit. You know, say what's the is there another name?
I read and shit, but I ain't never read no pedestal.
Tate, man, Tate. That's the other word.
Right. So that's when we all have these nerves, and when you spank properly, it's gonna send waves through those nerves. But you don't want to just run up on somebody like a disrespectful dude at the club and just smack the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, because then it hurt.
That was a real hood rat smack. Let's see the I'm a fetish trainer smack.
But so we start.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I can't my booty jiggling too. See, no, because now I'm getting.
So I want to say I'm watching him do it, and he's starting
feel
like
it.
from the bottom of the cheek.
Because you want to get
From what I see.
get that wave going. Because
Yes, I feel the wave.
the same thing as, like if we was fucking and we was really into it, and I spank you then,
Right.
you already had me pounding on you and pushing that nerve. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? So
so-
you'd already be warmed up.
Right.
But if you're not warmed up, that's why you work
Ooh.
You work up. Some people, you can also work the thighs.
Okay, yeah, the thighs is my spot. That's my spot. Yo, you making me hot, man.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I cannot
I'm about to
handle this shit right now, bro. Like, I can't, and I'm getting nervous.
Okay.
Me too. Is it?
Okay, this is...
Benson, climb up there and change the AC, because I'm fucked up right now. God.
Okay.
Let's switch seats, bitch. We know yours is soaked. Okay, I'll just stay here.
We can rock like this now. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So, but like the same thing with flock.
By the way, our next guest is sitting here. I want you to know this is not something normal. She's probably like, what the fuck?
You don't have to.
I came to talk about my goddamn book, not get fucked in here. Calm down.
But like, so like, for example, if you were working with flogging, you wouldn't just go straight to hitting somebody with something like that.
Right.
You start up here, because like I said, that's what releases all those good vibes from your brain, you know, that fight or flight.
So like I've seen, I used to have a few, and they would always like use the flogger like slightly on my face and my chest. Like they would kind of put it on my body first, so I would get to know how it feels. I've never had someone do like the shoulder, but like my breasts, yeah, and like. One thing I noticed that I've never seen someone do when I've seen your videos is like you all do some kind of acrobatic shit where you're like fucking, what's that called?
Florentine.
What is it?
Florentine.
Now the big words we don't know.
It looked like it's basically like a figure 8.
Yes.
And there's 2 different ways to do it that'll make, like, let's say, if I keep my elbows low or something like that, it's gonna hit you a certain way. If I raise my elbows up, it's gonna hit you a different way. So kind of like where I'm aiming.
Yes, because I'm hot. Thanks.
Bro.
I'm hot over here.
The only time I really got super turned on and wet in here was when Nina K said, oh my God, I love cream pies. Oh, I love when they come in my pussy. I was sitting here like, be professional.
Yeah.
And right now.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would get this wet from watching you get
bitch,
spanked.
you know you want to watch me, bitch.
Growth.
You
So-
want to watch me get fucked, ho?
It kind of, it's like heavier than any flogger I've ever felt.
But he's also much stronger than you.
No, but I mean just touching it.
Oh, yeah.
They all have, like I have some that are really light, that'll sting more, different kinds of, like the throws are made with something different.
Right.
It all depends on kind of like what you're going for. And these I like to use with people who aren't particularly like, yo, beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like
These are what you like to use
those-
with
those-
people that say don't beat the shit out of
trust
me?
when you feel it, if I'm not like swinging for the fences and nothing like that, if I'm just using it to warm you up,
Right.
those are very comfortable. Like,
Can I
if you
just
feel 'em.
feel like when, you don't have to warm me up, I just want to feel one good
Can
like.
you just hit her one time?
Just once.
flog her one time. Can you just...
Damn, I got a hole in my leggings. These are my house pants.
Oh, that's fine.
But it's all right.
So go over and just flog her
push
one
that
time.
chair up on the wall for me.
Oh.
Okay, wait, do I go sit forward or backward?
No, you don't turn around just like that.
All right, y'all. So basically now she is bending over.
Nah, keep your feet
Now look,
flat.
put your
Spread your
feet.
legs
There
open.
we go. Oh, spread your legs open a little bit. Hold on now. Yeah, explain a little bit. Yeah, you is not scared.
Don't worry, I think I covered it up for you. I got
Okay, so look, he's bending her over.
Oh.
So that little bit of nervousness that she had.
Uh-huh.
That shit gone now, bitch.
Exactly.
I'm ready for all y'all to leave. You know what's crazy?
Wait, do you like this? Yeah,
Keep your head straight.
Oh, he said keep your head straight.
I really like feeling it on my shoulder like more than I thought.
You like feeling it on your shoulder?
Yeah, I really do. Like I didn't think I'd get excited from my shoulders.
And then what? You move down and now he's hitting your ass.
Uh-huh.
Can you not move? Oh, there you go.
Sorry. I'm about to say sir, bitch. That's somebody man. That's somebody daddy.
And he's doing the figure 8 motion too now.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
wow.
bro.
Wow.
Yo, I honestly,
You feel it?
I forgot people were in the room.
Really?
Yeah, you are really good at what you do.
So,
'Cause
can you not? So
you know what? Everybody wants me to stop fucking white guys. There you go.
So I love that we got into this because this is what's going to lead into
Thank you so much
our
for the water,
horrible
because-
decision. You take so much, I guess, focus on pleasing women. touching them where they'll feel sensations that maybe they haven't felt before. And so for the Whoreible decision for this episode, because we do have a lot of men listeners, I wanted to get into a conversation on how a man can get into pleasing a woman, how they know they're pleasing their woman, and kind of the things that maybe they should look to do in order to make sure that their woman reaches orgasm. Because, of course, as we know, people fake orgasms. Which is an awful thing.
Don't reward bad behavior.
In 2019, do not reward bad behavior.
Or even if it was good sex and you just can't get there, like, it's okay to say, I
tell them it was a good fuck, but I didn't come. I've told guys that before, and they've felt some type of way about it, but I think it's important
I would say it's been
that.
50-50 me being too in my head or stressed out or whatever, or like a new experience. Sometimes with new people, I'm like a little, tense. Not now.
I think that for one, first and foremost,
talk to the men first.
All right. There's too much focus. Men, we focus too much on busting our nut. Like,
well, duh.
First and foremost, like if that's your entire focus of why you're being with somebody sexually, then you're already wrong.
Oh, I like that.
Because it's two people that are there.
Right.
Like, focus on your nut when you're jerking off.
Do you think that this comes from porn? I went to go see a woman, shout out to Erica Lust, and she was like, listen, all the porn we watched growing up is showing men coming, and then it's finished. And we're all waiting for that climax. And we are always learning that thing of like, oh, if women don't come, it's your fault. And if men don't come, it's also your fault. Like,
yeah.
I think porn has something to do with it for sure, but I think that this is a mentality that dates way back before porn even existed. Well, at least porn as we know it.
Yeah.
I think that we live in a society that doesn't really value women at all.
Duh, speak on it.
Men are
you getting them sessions booked now, boy.
Right.
Men are only concerned not only with their orgasm, but with their point, with their voice, with their thoughts. Women are overlooked with pretty much everything. So when it comes down to this most carnal of things, this moment of pleasure, a man is only thinking about himself.
Why do you think that? Is this something that innately, like, do you think did you have sisters? Like, what was it about you that why do you think you're so focused on it? Or what upbringing did you have that affected how you view women or treat women during sex or anything like that? What do you think's been different about your life?
I mean, I was raised by a group of great women who did everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that there were no good men in my life, but I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother.
But did they have that conversation with you about pleasing
really.
a woman?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it was just more like my perception of women isn't that women are less than me. I think that that's kind of like what most men have is no matter what. Like even some men who were raised by great women still have a perception that women are to be valued less in whatever kind of aspect it is. So sex is only another aspect of life. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that I had that conversation specifically, but I definitely learned to value all human beings, but also, like, I think that women should be put on a pedestal. I think that especially when it comes to pleasure, like, and this, even if you have a selfish motive, at the end of the day, your sex is going to be better if you please the woman you're with. Like, even if you're just a selfish asshole and you can't look past the selfishness of it, your sex will still be better if you focus on pleasing.
What are some of the focuses, or what are some of the things that you think a man can do if he's been one of those that just fucks to get his nut and now he's maybe maturing and wants to please the women that he's fucking? What would be some of the first steps that you would give that man to make sure that he's going into it to please the woman?
Ask her what she likes.
It's so crazy. I just had a tweet, and this actually applies to women as well. I just had a tweet by one of our listeners, and she said, hey, my boyfriend, every time he goes down on me, puts fingers in my vagina, and I really don't like it. How do I tell him in a nice way I don't like fingers?
I saw you retweet a reply from someone that I didn't like either. She was like, why are people doing this? Like, I think we got to give women a little bit of a break, because we're always so focused on men and kind of are trained that way. I mean, even my mother saying, got to make sure you do this for him and got to make sure you do this for your man. We think we can't say when we don't like something. Right. All right. I mean, goes back to, hate to bring it up, but very much that Aziz Ansari moment with people blaming that girl for not knowing when to say no. A lot of women don't know when to say no. And even though that is a different situation, there's so many times in my life, even a little bit older, even 25, I'll say, where I've been fucked away and been like, I don't really like this, but like I'll just let it be finished for him.
Right.
I think there's also kind of like this romantic idea that the person that is the perfect sexual partner for you is going to know everything you like. Right? And I think that if you think about yourself today,
Like that point.
If you think about yourself today and you think about yourself 5 years ago, chances are most things are going to have changed, even if slightly. Not just sexually, but just in your entire life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you might also like certain things with one person and not with somebody else. Like you might be like, yo, I love the way you flog, but this other time I got flogged, I did not like it because they did A, B, and C. So that could happen. The same thing, like
Even with
Well,
fingers
for
in my
me with
pussy, I would say.
BDSM, men assume that because they listen to the show that I'm just like such a submissive. Like I don't want you to smack me in the face. I like this from certain people I'm with. I don't want it from everybody.
I'll say that
Well, I think
with
your
fingers
shirt
and spit.
pretty
Yeah,
much-
yeah, right. Your
you know what I'm
shirt
saying?
says-
Like it's. I think a lot of times too, people will say something like, "Yo, I'm into kink," or "I'm into BDSM," or "I'm a sub." But that doesn't mean you're a sub to everybody. Just like people think that because I'm a dom, I just walk around telling people what to do all day, and that's not how life works.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like what I like to do sexually doesn't mean that I'm an asshole to people in everyday life.
Sure.
We say
Just
that
like-
about the podcast. Just because we talk about sex openly doesn't mean we want to have sex with you.
Facts.
And a lot of people automatically assume that because we are sex positive and open freely that now anyone can send us dick pics. Anyone can
Bro,
send us,
just like people, especially, I
terrible.
think even more than porn stars, strippers.
Yeah, we get a lot of.
Because like
It's really.
sure.
I can't even
becoming
imagine
a lot.
someone like giving you money in that moment, watching you dance and thinking they can violate you. Bro, I'd be going off on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. It's interesting because of my profession. You know, I definitely can. I mean, I can't say I can walk in a woman's shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like I know y'all deal with shit I'll never have to understand, but I
Right.
know, like from my homegirls, actually it was Tyomi who said it's like optical rape. You know, I get dudes who send me dick pics all the time. Like,
Right.
I want to be in porn, bro, or or whatever.
What do you
know I
think?
mean? Like,
What do you think? Can I do
yeah,
it?
it's like,
Jesus.
or just men who are interested in me, you know, just send me dick pics all day, and I'm like, and I get women who send me pussy pics. I get all day, and it's like, I love pussy, but that doesn't mean I want you to send me yours.
No, that's
You know?
right.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty, and
Same.
I'm in porn.
Same.
So I think about the sisters I know who get dick pics. They might have never even talked about sex to a dude. And he's like, just some guy I met. I gave him my number. He said hi and sent a dick pic. Or,
That
"Hey," and a dick
happens.
pic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy. And,
Yeah.
and it still goes back to that thing that we was just talking about men who do not care about women and what they think or how they feel. So all of that, it's a societal thing, and it's going to be reflected in how people have sex.
Have you ever, I'm curious to know, like, I want to tell you this, but I didn't think I would tell you, but now I want to. So when we first had you on Whoreible Decisions, right? I wasn't there. A dude I know was like, oh, yeah, I saw his picture. Ain't that nigga gay? I was like, why would you think that? And he was like, I don't know. Like, I saw, like, what he does. Have you ever noticed that men that are more in tune with their sex, or like men that do fetish, like people always assume male sex workers are gay, and like how does that play into your role? Because
I think it happens for sure. For one, I've had people say, "Dude, you gay," because I think R. Kelly is a piece of shit.
Wait, what?
You know what I mean, no, I'm dead.
I believe it.
Like arguments that I've had with people online or in person, where it's like
They've used
outside
gay as
with-
an insult.
outside with a woman, and they be like, "You must be gay," or "You just do that to get pussy." You know what I mean? Like, it's one or the other. And I'm like, those are two really different things, but you're calling me both right now. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there's this whole
Yeah.
perception that if a man has respect for women, or if a man is in tune with his body or whatever, that he's gay. First, I don't take it as an insult. I know a lot of great people. I don't think that gay is an insult, but my sexuality is I'm into women. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's just kind of like people might use that as an insult.
I really
to
like
try
the way
and-
you said that. Did y'all see the video of the dude that was like, listen, God could deal with you the way he want, but no shame to the gays, but don't send me dick pics. I was like, that sounds like shame.
Yeah, it does.
God can deal with you. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It was like circling around. I don't know if it was a male model or a porn star was going around Twitter, and I was like, why do they have to say it so angry? Like,
Right.
okay, like you're that fucking fine that everybody wants to fuck you. That's it.
The interesting
That's
thing
pretty
is
much
though,
it.
when I've told women like, yo, chill, don't send me that unless I ask for it.
You gay?
Women are actually way more like, I think they come back into themselves and be like, oh shit, yeah, that was kind of
Really?
a dick move.
But why
like,
do
when
women,
do
you
that
think-
to dudes be cursing you the fuck out. But
Why do you think women then say if you don't like something or you don't want to fuck them, then you're gay? Like, why do you think we throw that out? Is that our own insecurity?
I think that that's just like one of those insults that they know will resonate with most people. You know, I think that that's like that and your mama's a bitch that pretty much set off everybody. You know, so
True.
it's kind of like those are the go-to Johns right there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to circle back into a man pleasing his woman, and I kind of wanted to gear this into maybe one of the kinks that we've discussed on the show previously, which would be cuckolding. So I wanted to bring this up because in that fashion, or when I watch it, it makes me feel like a man is choosing cuckolding as a means to please his woman because he can't please his woman. So I kind of wanted to get into maybe the psyche. If a man is with his woman and chooses maybe to bring another party into the bedroom, what that means, the psyche of it, and you've done cuckolding. So I want to know kind of your psyche as the person who's being the giver in that.
That's actually like one of the things that first introduced me into BDSM and that whole lifestyle. Was
cuckolding was before. Oh.
Yeah, because I started, like when I first did porn, some people started reaching out like, hey, would you fuck my wife? You know what I mean?
Really?
That's actually kind of like how I got into, that's how I learned about domination and submission.
I feel like cuckolding is way a little bit above like just dressing up and spitting, and those are, to me, are like baby steps. So cuckolding being your baby step into BDSM.
Remember,
is
a
kinda
restaurant
crazy.
guy wanted like the cuckolding shit to happen all the time with us.
That's kind of crazy.
And I was super into it until he was like, "Oh, it can only be a black guy." And then I was like, "I'm done."
And do you get that too? Like being.
Definitely get that.
And of course, our listeners are going to be like, he's racially ambiguous. I don't know why y'all want to keep calling yourselves black. Like, they do not want to give us the black title for shit, but.
Tell that shit to the police. And then
There you go.
Now, when the cuckolding does happen, right? The couples hit you up. So, like, this is something that they want.
I mean, I actually get single males, too, who want to be cuckolded and will just sit there and watch me and Jasmine work, or me and another performer as well.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of it has to do with what you say, like some people who feel inadequate, some people who feel like they can never please a woman in the same way. Mm-hmm. But for some people, it's like the ultimate submission. Like there's someone who's so dominant over them that they dominate their household. Or there's someone that's so dominant over them that it's like, for some, they want to be what's considered like sissified or forced to be bi. That's another aspect.
Them the ones I like watching.
Yeah, me too.
Them the ones I like watching. Where like I got it, like you force them to like suck your dick or some shit like that.
Are you comfortable with that? Does it make you?
I have not had a cuck suck my dick before, but I definitely make them eat my cum from.
Shut up,
dude. You know what? That's it. I am booking my session.
Where do you normally come that they lick off of? Like,
well, it depends. Like in there was. If you go to Royal Fetish, xxx.com.
There you go.
I'm joining.
Plug,
how much does she do?
Like, I shot a scene with Slave Fluffy and Ivory Brooks. And I came like all over her stomach and chest. I don't know what I was eating that week, but I feel like that was.
Yeah, did you maybe not like?
I came so much.
Had it been a while since you came?
He couldn't finish as much as I came.
Wait, but you wanted it like it was kind of his task to lick it all up?
That was his duty.
Yo, shut up.
You gotta get to work.
Yo, you see me over here on the internet like.
Look, don't be trying to look it up yet, bitch. You gotta pay for his shit. Bruh. Shit ain't even free, bitch.
I'm putting it on the business account. Okay, you hear me? Whoreible Decisions LLC. We gonna share this password.
So is that this?
That is that
so
scene.
it's this scene.
She's really fucking cute.
Yeah.
So like there was another scene I shot with Jasmine for another company, and Jazz is my partner, so I came inside of her and the cuck ate it out.
You made him eat the cream pie.
That's my favorite part.
Look, I know.
I be eating like by eating cream pie. Like I lick all that shit up. I mean, lick. Did I say lick?
Look, you
did.
Nasty.
Yo,
she be out here licking cream pie.
Yeah, I'm so like, hey, I can't film it, but if you can block the tattoos out, I'm in.
Good to know.
Look.
But I mean, it's funny because like for me, that being like one of my first like super extreme, the first experience I ever had, it was here in New York. It was in Long Island. This couple, they was like nice Long Island, travel out there from Jersey or whatever.
Okay.
You know.
Were you in their house?
Yeah, they had this beautiful house with a pool table and all that shit.
Oof.
And I destroyed her on the pool table and made him sit in the corner and jerk off his shit with 2 fingers.
Not one of those.
Yeah, he was
I've
one of
seen
those.
those at like.
So wait,
the
that
New
was your
Beach.
first experience
That
ever?
was my first cuckolding experience.
Were you excited about it? Were you nervous?
Oh, it was one of those experiences. Was like she was hot,
right?
So I was all for it, you know, and you know I left with some bread too, so that was great. But I mean, you know, they filmed it and all this other stuff. Like it was crazy.
I was gonna ask you if they filmed it because like whenever I'm on Pornhub looking at like amateur, sometimes I wonder like, yo, I feel like they found this dude on Tinder and they were like, yo, can you fuck my wife?
Well, shit,
and like they had Rory almost
came
had
on and that
but I
almost
feel like
happened
the
to him.
phone is always in a position like the other person doesn't know, and I'm like, I'm gonna come watching this, but it's also fucked up.
Yeah, it is. that is kind of
I
fucked
definitely
up.
knew about it ahead of time, so that was cool.
Okay, that is cool.
Because it was they reached out through a company that I had worked for. So
And so, so as a man who comes in and does the performing while the other man watches, what kind of goes through your mind? Or if a man is interested in maybe doing that, is there any type of preparation mentally that you have to do?
I don't know. Everybody's different. I mean, I'm a complete exhibitionist. Like I
That's
love
great.
when people watch me fuck.
Me too.
Like I
love it. I be asking
so
my friends.
much. Like when people ask, like what makes you different? Like I look at porn and all that. I think of it as like being a sexual athlete. You know, like you gotta show up, you gotta perform.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? We are
there's
so
audience,
grateful
all
that you're not an
shit.
accountant because what a waste of skill. You know what? Sometimes I suck dick and I'd be like, I should totally film it. Like that's what makes me have so many
You know,
videos.
someone just told me I was born to be a porn star, and I kind of took that as like, wait, I can do a lot more than fucking.
Listen, I gave a labia massage so good the other day. I was like, I can fucking teach the class. Like, you know.
I mean, I think in the day and age that we live, a porn star doesn't limit you to just one thing.
No,
you know,
it doesn't.
I think
No.
slowly. I mean, there's still a whole lot of, you know, bad connotation with it and all that. But we've seen certain people who've come into the business from all kinds of walks of life. And
Right.
you see some people who take this business and go to other walks of life that back in the day they were like, nah, you can't do that.
Right.
So, you know, I think that for me, like, from the first time I was on your show, there were people who were like, wow, I didn't know you were articulate. Like they
Facts.
automatically think that
That
because
you went to
I
jail.
do porn or something.
That
it's
you came
like,
straight out of
I
jail
can't talk.
and you couldn't get another
Honestly,
job.
you could guess jail because you'd be like, damn, he must have read a lot.
Oh, see that too.
Yeah.
I had a.
You could be articulate and go to jail. I think
you
just,
can't.
You know what I found to be-
I think the way the world works. I think the way the world works. I think it's very important for me to just break as many boxes as possible.
Absolutely.
I like
think,
that.
I think like the work that we do, for example, with our class, Porn and Parenting. You know, we're not telling people that, you know, you could go out there and be porn stars, but we're saying you could be a porn star in your own bedroom, you know, but as a parent, you know, there's certain responsibility that you have, you know what I'm saying? And then also at the same time, how can you be a sex positive parent so that your children will not be shamed or won't shame themselves, but can still live a safe and
Nah, I want you,
lifestyle?
Jasmine, and the baby in here next time, bro.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like that's.
I want her to breastfeed. I want to make it a
but
whole
you're saying
mom
that,
thing.
That's like a thing with me. Like when I go, like if I'm fucking a guy and he has a kid in the house, I feel like I can't even moan, and I'm a moaner. I love being loud, but it's nothing. I don't want the child to hear me moaning.
Yeah, and that's
I mean,
So that's
respectful.
kind of what. Yeah, you know, I be trying to respect
I mean,
the
that's-
kid.
that's when you can
while I'm
get-
sucking his daddy up.
That's when you could get the pillow.
You know.
I want to tell you one thing. You
Wear a
just
ball
said
gag or something,
checking off
you know
the
what I mean? Have
boxes.
some
I
fun.
think the most impressive and interesting thing about you that I found from just being a listener in that episode was that you were a dom that cared so much about pleasuring women. Like, you could almost tell it wasn't phony. You know, that it's a very genuine thing about you. Even me saying I want to spank Mandy, you making sure that I did it a certain way. Having a dom that loves to give pleasure is a great thing. Like, I've had doms that, you know, spank me, make me suck. Not that I don't like it. Make me
Right.
suck their dick, and it's just like, and I'm going crazy because I'm ready to come. And even though that's part of it sometimes, like, I don't know if they necessarily care or if it's just part of the play. But I think you seem to make it very clear that that is a priority, and that's what makes it so fun.
I think that it should, because there's a lot of men who are so dominant in the bedroom where like, where they like a woman to gag because they, it's a dom thing to do and all that stuff. And there are some men where I think have drawn the line where I don't feel like they cared whether I was being pleased or not and how they were treating me, from the slaps to the choking to all of that. Yeah. There's even ways to choke where, bitch, sometimes it fucking hurts. But there's there's ways to also choke someone where it feels good, it turns you on. Weezy wants to almost die. And,
I'll be honest with you. I don't like to have sex with people like that have no experience.
That has no experience with it, yeah.
I mean, you can definitely hurt somebody, and I think that there are people who get into BDSM because they want to hurt people. And they think that it might be a way that they can hurt people in a way that's like, oh, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dom.
And that was so interesting about, even though people think it's a very vanilla movie, in 50 Shades of Grey when he beat her a little too hard because he had that in him. Like, I feel so bad to know there are doms like that. We've had Kiki on here, a sub who was talking about almost like some violent shit where I was like, who likes that? But
I think when it comes to... I think it's important, like, for me, I think one of the things I love about doming is it forces me to, I have to pay such attention to myself, especially in a session, because you're breathing, how your body responds, like if you're bruising or anything like that, especially if you're like, yo, I want to like push it. I want to go crazy. So, like, if we're pushing your limits... But that's also different for everybody. And I'm not attentive enough to your body to know, like, because some subs will be like, I don't want to disappoint my dom, so I'm not going to say my safety word. But they might go past the point where they should have said it already. If you're not paying enough attention to that person to know, like, you should chill for a minute, let's yellow it out for a bit, let's relax.
That's it. Ready, yellow. Now, I do want to ask if you could just tell us about a time where, like, you do erotic massage and stuff like that. Have you ever had a time where you did erotic massage and started having sex with that person? Like, y'all were it was getting crazy? And, like, do you have someone in mind or a person or a moment you're thinking
you can
about?
Go watch that on Royal Fetish.
Look, he telling you.
This nigga ready to take my $29.99.
Look, you about to take, she about to charge it to the business account. I'm going to be like, no, bitch, you make enough.
You better
take it out your own account.
I'm going to be honest with you. Next time you're in New York, I'm really considering, so I've been dating this girl, I call her Scissors, and we've dated years ago, and I've been talking about bringing a guy in the room with us and, having an experience, not knowing what it'll be. And I think sometimes she worries about male energy and maybe like how I'll feel about that person.
Good, bro.
And I think that I would love to, if you're down, have a session of all three of us and maybe document it like together.
Sure.
All of us?
I'm with that.
Wait, all of who? You and the other girl and him?
Yeah.
Don't be trying to put that on the business account either, ho. It's for research. I want to go ahead, before we get out of here, I want to get into our home mail real quick. As you guys know, you can submit home mail at whoreibledecisions@gmail.com. This one was actually sent into my DM, and normally I don't read y'all's motherfucking DMs.
I hate home mail and DMs.
I hate home mail and DMs, but this one was good, and I don't know if she wanted me to personally help because she done heard my issues in life, but I was like, we have an open man on the show, so let's see, if maybe you can help us. So it says, good morning, girly. I have a big question. I honestly don't know how to even handle this. I've been in a serious relationship with my boyfriend for over a year, and we live together. I recently found out that before me, he lived with a transsexual woman for 2 years, and supposedly he didn't know she still had a penis. He even put a restraining order out on her at the end.
Oh, God.
I'm thinking he only did this to cover his own ass with his family. I've caught him talking to other transsexuals, and he just says they're friends. Am I wrong to hate him for not telling me the truth? I can't even sleep at night with him knowing that he likes men. Like, he won't kiss me or go down on me, but he'll be quick to suck a dick. He drinks a lot, and I think it's something that he's been trying to fight himself.
I hate her already. I'm going to be honest with you.
When I read the ending of it, I was like, okay, so first off, you have a whole issue with identifying.
You're the reason that motherfuckers have to write restraining orders, and frankly, I'm almost embarrassed that you're a fucking listener of this show. I hope to God you get offended at what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
You're a piece of shit. You're exactly why we have fucking issues with. Is she black?
She looks Latina.
Fine. She probably likes to fuck niggas and she's fucking them up. This is such a toxic way of thinking. Like, I don't know who raised you with this fucking bullshit, but let's stop calling them transsexuals. One, that's like really fucking rude.
If they also identify and carry themselves as women, we are to identify
quick to
them
suck
as
a
women.
dick. Maybe you just don't want to fuck you. Maybe it's not enough with you. Maybe that's the fucking problem. Maybe you could DM me and we could talk about it more on IG Live. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
The problem with men not being comfortable with enjoying other people, I'm not even going to say men or women or whoever, other people, is because of the fear of them looking like whatever you're thinking of him. It doesn't make him less of a man. It doesn't make him less of a person. To fucking make a restraining order on somebody over some bullshit like that, I really hope he lied to you because you're such a judgmental cunt, and I rarely use that word. So I don't care.
So when I got to the ending of that, I felt a little hurt, but also, again, I have a friend who is also going through this, to where it's led him down alcoholism, therapy, depression, because he is into trans women, and he knows that his family may not be accepting of it because he grew up in the church. So hiding that piece of himself from his mom. He even told me, like, yo, I brought a white girl home to my mom one time. Could you imagine if I brought, XYZ? And even just that thought process is just, it's unfortunate that, Weezy and I have both said it before, that unfortunately we as women are just as much the root of the cause to men not being able to open up sexually, whether it's their kinks that they want in the bedroom, like pegging or other things that I've mentioned on the show, or whether it is into experimenting or finding out what they genuinely like in the bedroom in fear of what the women they date or the women they speak with or their women family members will think of them. So I like that you went as hard as you did. Normally I'd be like,
I bet
chill,
you she's one of those bitches that loves gays and like, I love going to the club. Oh yes, queen. Okay,
then,
same shit, bitch.
Right, and then you're shady. So I guess
realize you have to cut a lot of shit out of your life if you have that much of a fucking problem with trans women. A lot of shit out of your life gotta go, bitch. All the fucking TV shows you watch, all the makeup, all of it, bitch. Just stop. Cancel it. Join City Girls.
What? Yo, shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. Like, she sucks, bro.
I know.
Like, she really had all of the nerve.
I was just like, for someone who has listened to our show, for you to still be so close-minded, it kind of like, bitch, have you not been listening to what the fuck we've been saying on this goddamn show?
I was about to like reel something back, but I don't care.
Yeah. So what would be, I guess, your response to that? Or how do you think maybe she should approach this? You being a man, what would be the right way for her to have this conversation with her man?
I think, first and foremost, I would just want to say that whatever you're into and whoever you're into, as long as you leave children, animals, and people who say no out of it, you good.
Agreed.
Is that our new description in the bio? Quote.
Right. I don't know
I think that there is, though, there's this perception of what manhood is. And unfortunately, the perception of manhood is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty toxic, as you've stated. You know, I think that men posture a lot because they don't know how, and especially, and unfortunately, I mean, in our community, we're always told that our lives don't matter, whether it's man, woman, or trans. Like, we're all told our lives don't matter.
Right.
But there's this perception in Western society that the man is supposed to be the top and the head of everything. So in the black and brown community, a lot of black and brown men are like, well, I got to be the head and the top. So then it leads to men bullying trans folk, it leads to men bullying women. And then like there was this post, I forget who posted it, but it was so real that it was like black men have become the white men of our own community.
No,
because
I agree.
Because we
God, that made me fucking cringe.
Well,
count that bitch in.
Everybody else. And I think that now, you know, you see women who perceive a man as less than a man
if they're
because he was, you know, and you actually said you just went to go see if Beale Street could talk. James Baldwin is one of my greatest heroes of ever. You know what I mean? Like, I think that man was a man, and he stood up for his people, and he stood up for everything the way a human being should stand up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His gender was just a part of his story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like his blackness is a part of his story. And a lot of times we get so caught up in all these little things that we try to nitpick to break people apart and break people down.
And that's what she is doing.
And that's what she's doing because she's not happy. And maybe y'all just don't fucking fit together. It might not be because of who he likes. It might not be because
it's her fault.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's just kind of like, if you're trying to find all these things about him, like if you love somebody, you love them for who they are. If you like them for who they are. If you don't fucking like them, then you don't like them.
Right.
You
Don't
said the
try
word
to make
human
it
a
about
lot.
all these other things, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to make it about other stuff to justify how you feel about him, instead of just being like, you know what, maybe we ain't meant to be together.
We really can't forget that people are humans, though. Like, just, I mean, you said you thought she was Latina. Like, I can't sit here and like be a Black Lives Matter bitch and not think about Latinas, or be a feminist and not think about every woman. Like, I can't. Like, I have to remember everybody's fucking human, you know? And sometimes I even get a little brainwashed in my own neuroses where I'm like, I fuck all the white people. And we're like, most of them are just, a lot of white people are not trash. They're just not, you know? And it's like, I have to really break that shit down and just practice what I preach from a respect level.
But also, from what she's trying to do is label him into putting it like something is wrong with him for liking trans women, or being into sucking dick or whatever. You know, I think that as humans, to sit here and classify or degrade someone based on their sexual preferences, whether, you know, our next guest talking about sluts or us liking hoe shit, or if a man likes to engage in other things that may not be of the norm, it doesn't make anyone less than. And you shouldn't sit here and feel the need to make him feel less than because those may be his choices behind closed doors.
Right. So
I like that we got on that, bitch, you a piece of trash. But we gonna hope that you work through this, and after we sat here and talked, we hope that you see your wrongdoing.
Oh, I can't wait to read her reply. She's gonna be like, can I just say, as someone that thinks they should be accepting, y'all didn't want to make it a teaching moment? No, bitch, we did it. It's too late. It's 2019. I ain't got time to teach y'all hoes.
Well,
oh wait, let's have King Noir before we go. Just kind of like tell people like exactly what they can look forward to in a session with you.
Yeah,
because I know that you're gonna tell them where to find you. But
you can definitely explore your kink. I don't ever like. There's no.
Nigga, that's our catchphrase. No, I'm just like.
There's no two sessions that are ever the same. It's like I always tell people: if you make love the same way twice, you're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's the same thing.
Bro,
in
every girl
session.
that listens to this show gonna think her man fucking her wrong. Honestly, dudes gonna hate you.
But, I mean, it's like. I mean, it's and I'm not saying like, yo, now you gotta go fuck on a plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
or
it's like,
that too.
I mean, you can do that. But I mean, if all you got is your bedroom, just try a different position. Try with the lights on. You know what I mean? It's just little things to change it up that'll make you learn something new about your partner and learn something new about yourself. And all the fetish training sessions, that's what it's really about. It's about learning about yourself and opening yourself up to different forms of pleasure, different forms of kink, and
pun intended. Open it up.
Yep, open it up.
Do you like, so if someone, you know, messages you, like they can maybe like, do you do a little emailing beforehand?
I do a consultation call because we have like a survey that goes over something like 200 or 300 different fetishes, and it might not be a fetish that you yourself want to experience, but you saying like let's just say there's a line of things and it's like gag ball, spit, and handcuffs.
Do you have yours in
like,
there too?
Yes, no, or maybe, right?
Yes, no, or maybe. Okay.
And to me, that just lets me know a little bit about who you are and what you are either open to, because I don't always say like, okay, I'm gonna come in there and then we're gonna do 5 minutes of flogging, and you know what I mean? It's not how it works.
I told you that's how I start off by asking about the booty hole. I was like, can I lick it? Can I finger it? Can I peg it? Yes, no, maybe. And that's pretty much how I gauge what I can and cannot do to the booty hole.
Can I fuck it?
Pretty much.
But from there,
if
they're like, yeah, you could do all three, you're not just gonna jump to fucking. You're gonna warm them up
tongue
first.
gotta start first. Yeah, you gotta warm them up.
So it's like the same kind of thing within.
I like that.
If you're, I'm an artist, so you're just gonna tell me what types of paint I'm gonna use, and then we gonna paint from there.
I hate him.
I like that. If I get a text message like that, nigga, take the draws. Well, can you go ahead and let our listeners know where they can find you and book you in the DM? How they booking you?
You could definitely hit me up in my DMs on Twitter, Instagram.
You sound like a hoe right when you said it. Didn't he? You can hit me up in my DMs.
I mean, I got emails too and stuff, you know.
Okay, well, go ahead and drop the website.
It's at King Noir, KingNoire, and you can go to KingNoirXXX.com, royalfetishxxx.com, and you can see all of my films and get some ideas for your sessions.
I'm gonna show Weezy the ones you done sent me.
And by the way, paying for porn is a big fucking deal.
Since I came here, I sent her the trailer when they come out. Like, what you think of this one?
He be sending me them. So
dope. Can I be in the email chain?
Yeah, I'll add you because he sent me all of them. Dick look beautiful.
Bro,
ladies,
y'all think I'm playing? Anybody listening thinks I'm playing about like doing this session all together? Like, I think it only makes sense.
You say love. You want to invite the whole goddamn 50,000 listeners?
No, I don't want to invite them in the bedroom. Like, I don't want to film it, but I would love to just make it something where like we can all talk about how it was together.
Oh, okay.
You know,
dope. I'm with that.
Like if I was nervous or like, you know what I mean?
Well, fuck that. I just want to watch. So I'm gonna be the exhibition. No, the voyeur. I'm gonna be the voyeur.
Bro, you couldn't say genitalia earlier,
you
so like.
Fuck up. Anyway,
she got voyeur right on point.
Boom,
though.
got it. I knew
been
that.
Ready for that one.
You know. Anyways, guys, we're looking forward to seeing you guys on tour. Thank you to everyone who came out to motherfucking DC. Y'all know we did 2 shows. It was lit or whatever. But I'm excited to sit here and see everyone in Atlanta, see everyone in Houston. We got Toronto. See everyone in New York City March 9th, and then y'all can go see B2K Ho. And then we still are waiting for Miami and LA. Possibly have it out by now.
Hopefully it's out by now. If you want a little bit more Horrible Decisions, listen to this clip we're about to give you. If you think this episode was great, thank you. If you think it could have been better and you want to help us out with it, call us at the $15 Patreon tier. After 4 months, we send you merch. And right at the beginning, you can give us a call. We'll read you an outline that we have upcoming, and you can give us feedback or create your own outline and pretty much produce an episode. At only $5 a month, you get 3 bonus episodes a month. Right after each Horrible Decisions episode you hear on Mondays, and I'm tired of talking. I just want to go jerk off in the bathroom after getting flogged.
I know. I feel like I got to go wipe my pussy. Anyways, guys, this has been yet another episode of Horrible Decisions. Bye.
In my mind, I sometimes can't watch the same scenes over and over
Me
again.
neither.
But that's also my problem with probably why I haven't been able to mutually masturbate, because if I'm watching a porn and I'm allowing you to play with me while I watch a porn, you have to be comfortable there's going to be two guys fucking. And that one I haven't kind of gotten to yet.
The literally, like that's all
Like
you come
even
to
the
right
niggas,
now?
literally, and even the guys, or tran porn. So literally even the guys that have allowed me to peg, they don't like the idea that I like 2 men and men, because they like to make it be known that they don't like men. So like, they're just not into gay porn. I even be trying to send them links, but they're like, man, what the fuck you send me that for? Like, but they'll watch trend porn. So.
What'd you just say, Mandy?
Trend porn. They'll watch trend porn.
I thought you said tran and then another letter that's between D and G.
D and G?
Tran E. I thought that, like, I was trying to do...
First off, it's spelled with an Y.
I know.
Oh, but the word... We got it recorded. I ain't say it. Bitch,
so
rewind it back 10 seconds, ho.
Mutual masturbation for me. The girl Nadia on the phone said that she don't like how she got to be upside down and shit because the nigga got to see and blah blah blah. But here's how I've done it, right? Which I've really enjoyed. One, I recently, I think was it a year ago? Yeah, it wasn't this year. Last year, I was home for Thanksgiving. Went home with this guy. He didn't have a condom. And I was like...
You shared... I remember this
story.
Yeah,
and so I did it that way. And, like, we just were side by side. And, like, he and I were, like, making out and touching each other. It was good. I've also, like, almost done a quote-unquote scissors position. Like, I've kind of, like, almost stood on top or, like, was on top of a dude, like, masturbating. So, like, my titties was in his face. It was really good. And then one that I really love, my best mutual masturbation, where we were, like, really far apart, I was at Loverboy's crib. And he was on the computer doing some kind of online gambling shit. I don't know, whatever European shit. He had this couch in front, and I sat on it while he was on there because he wouldn't pay attention to me. And I started masturbating, and then he came over to eat my pussy, and I told him no. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm just going to come like this because you're just so fucking busy.
See, and I guess I've done it out of,
like, jerk off.
I've done it out of revenge then. Like, I remember... someone who, and I brought him up on the show before, but I ain't gonna down talk him right now. But there's been times where we've had sex and it wasn't good. I didn't come and he wasn't trying to get back up. So I've literally, just to let him know how much he did not please me, I've turned on porn right next to him, loud, so that he couldn't watch TV. And I played with my pussy. And when he said, like, what are you doing? I'm gonna come since you didn't make me. And I've literally sat in the bed.
Ooh.
Girl, I ain't gonna say his name.
Really?
Yeah. And we argue so much every night. Yeah, so I've done that with him. And I did it
You
with the nigga-
came?
And I did it with the nigga I pissed on. Well, no, because I know I was just really doing it to fuck up his ego. I really couldn't get in the mood to come. But I was just doing it to make it show, like, nigga, I'm going to please myself because you a fuck nigga and you ain't make me come.
So what did he do? Was he just sitting there?
Oh, no, you know we had a whole ass argument about it.
While you was doing it?
Yes.
Wait,
Well, no, I was doing it, and, like, of course I turned up. He was mad that my porn was on because he was trying to watch a game or something. And I was like, so? You ain't made me come. Go to the living room then. I'm sitting right here and I'm going to make myself come since you didn't. So it was really more so like, fuck you. 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 Fuck you.